The weight she carried alone. Myra had learned very early in life that love could be conditional. She just never imagined it would come from the people who gave her life. From the outside, her family looked perfect. Polished smiles and photographs, comfortable suburban home, proud parents who loved to boast about their daughter becoming a doctor. But behind closed doors, the truth was painfully different. Myra was not their pride. She was their safety net. The quiet giver. For as long as she could remember, Myra had been responsible. At 17, while other teenagers were dreaming about college parties and road trips, she was working part-time jobs to help pay bills. Her father had lost his job years earlier, and her mother never held one long enough to help stabilize the household. Somehow, the responsibility always landed on Myra's shoulders. "You're the smart one," her mother would say. "You'll take care of us when you're successful." It sounded like encouragement back then, like faith in her potential. Only later did she realize it was a burden disguised as praise. When she got accepted into medical school, she thought things would finally change, that her hard work would bring pride instead of pressure. But instead of relief, her acceptance letter only brought new expectations. "If you're going to be a doctor," her father said casually one evening, "you'll be able to help with the mortgage." She was 22 years old. And just like that, the arrangement began. A daughter turned provider. While juggling the brutal schedule of medical school and later her cardiology residency, Myra quietly took on her parents' financial responsibilities. Every month, a large portion of her earnings disappeared into their mortgage, their insurance, their utilities. She never complained. She told herself it was temporary. Years passed. The support never ended. Whenever she tried to bring it up, her mother would sigh dramatically. "After everything we've done for you, this is the least you can do." So Myra swallowed her frustration and kept paying. At work, she was respected, a rising star in cardiology, known for her dedication and compassion. Patients trusted her. Colleagues admired her. At home, she was still just the obedient daughter, invisible, unappreciated, expected. The night everything changed. The accident happened on a rainy Friday night. Myra had just finished a grueling 16-hour hospital shift. Exhausted but satisfied, she drove home with music playing softly, already dreaming of sleep. She never saw the truck that ran the red light. Metal crushed, glass shattered, the world turned upside down. When she opened her eyes, she was lying in a hospital bed, her own hospital. Her ribs ached, her arm was in a cast, and machines beeped steadily beside her. A nurse she recognized squeezed her hand. "You're lucky to be alive, Dr. Hale." Myra asked the first question any daughter would ask. "Have my parents been called?" The nurse hesitated. "Yes, we left several messages." Hours passed. No one came. Finally, late that night, her mother called, not to check on her, but to explain why they couldn't visit. "We already bought concert tickets, Myra. You understand, right? You're stable, so it's not an emergency." Myra lay in her hospital bed listening in disbelief. "I could have died," she whispered. "But you didn't," her mother replied, lightly. "We'll see you next week." That was the moment something inside her broke. Not her bones, her loyalty. Seeing the truth. Lying there alone, Myra replayed years of sacrifices in her mind. The missed vacations, the sleepless nights, the bank transfers, the unpaid gratitude. And she finally allowed herself to feel what she had buried for so long: anger, hurt, betrayal. She realized a painful truth. She was not a daughter to them. She was an ATM. Taking her power back. 2 weeks after the accident, while recovering at home, Myra made the hardest decision of her life. She called her bank. Every automatic payment stopped. The mortgage transfers ended, the insurance payments ceased. For the first time in nearly a decade, Myra chose herself. When her parents noticed, the reaction was immediate. "How could you do this to us?" her father shouted over the phone. "After all we sacrificed?" Myra felt something unfamiliar rise inside her. Courage. "I've been sacrificing for years," she replied calmly, "and I'm done." They didn't take it well. Guilt turned to anger, anger turned to insults. Still, she did not give in. The grandfather's intervention. There was one person in the family who had always seen through the lies: Myra's grandfather, a quiet, observant man with kind eyes and a sharp mind. He had noticed the exhaustion behind her granddaughter's smile, the way she avoided family gatherings, the way her parents always seemed to have new luxuries despite never working. So he decided to act. At his 75th birthday celebration, surrounded by relatives and lifelong friends, he made an unexpected announcement. "I'd like to thank my granddaughter Myra," he began, raising his glass, "for supporting this family financially for nearly 10 years. The room fell silent. Myra froze. Her parents turned pale. He continued, "And I'd also like to ask her parents why they chose a concert over visiting their injured daughter in the hospital." Gasps filled the air. The perfect family image shattered in seconds. Truth in the open. For the first time, Myra wasn't painted as ungrateful. She was seen. Relatives approached her with shock and sympathy. "You paid for everything? They didn't visit you? How could they do that?" Her parents tried to defend themselves, but the damage was done. Their carefully constructed narrative collapsed, and Myra finally felt free. Choosing herself. That night, her grandfather pulled her aside. "You don't owe anyone your life," he told her gently, "not even family." It was the permission she had waited years to hear. In the months that followed, Myra rebuilt her world. She moved into a small apartment she loved, she traveled, she rested, she healed. Most importantly, she learned to set boundaries. Her parents tried many times to regain control, through guilt, through anger, through fake apologies, but she no longer carried the weight of their expectations. A new definition of love. Myra eventually realized that unconditional love does not mean unconditional sacrifice. Real love does not drain you. It supports you. It protects you. It shows up. Standing in her hospital one morning, now a respected cardiologist with her own life and peace, she finally understood something powerful. She was not responsible for breaking people, only for protecting her own heart. Epilogue. At her next birthday, surrounded by friends who truly cared for her, Myra made a quiet toast. "To freedom," she said with a smile, "to self-worth, and to choosing myself." And for the first time in her life, she meant it.